In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to track your Minnesota probate case online so that you can stay up to date on the most recent filings, hearings, dates, calendar entries, and anything else that's related to your Minnesota probate case. And for those of you who have a probate case somewhere else in the United States, stay tuned because a lot of counties across the United States use the same case management system that I'm going to show you today. Hi, my name is Reine, and I am a Minnesota licensed real estate agent. I specialize in probate cases. I help personal representatives like you get through probate with less stress and more money at the end of the day, even if you're working with an attorney. Every day I get a lot of calls from personal representatives like you who want to know, A, where did I find information about your case online? And B, how can you find that information online so that you could track your case and stay up to date, even in situations where maybe your attorney didn't contact you? In fact, in a lot of situations, I find out the information even before your attorney does. So I'm going to show you exactly how I do that. And before I keep mumbling and stumbling and stuttering, let's go. So I am at pa.courts.state.mn.us/default.aspx, and I will put that link in the show notes so that all you have to do is click on the link. And when you do click on that link, you will come to this page right here. And this is the portal or the gateway into all of the court cases for all of Minnesota, regardless of which county you're in. They all use this case. They all share this case management system. So the first thing you do when you come to this page is you come down to civil, family, and probate case records, and you want to click on that. And when you click on that, it is going to bring you to this page here. And this is where we would actually look up your probate case. Now, as you can see here, you can search by case, or you can click on the drop down, and you can also search by party, or you can search by attorney. If you have a letter or email from me, I've included your case number. But if you don't have that, that's okay. You can still do a party search, and that's what we'll focus on for this video. Now, for party search, we're going to start with party information, and we are going to come over to last name. And for this video, I'm going to enter probate case where I was personal representative. It was for my father's estate. I mentioned that I am a real estate agent and a probate expert. I started when I had to work on my own family's probate case, and I was personal representative. So unlike most agents that are out there, I understand probate from both sides as an agent and also as a personal representative. And I've worked on other cases as well. Since my dad's case, I've been hired by attorneys to help with their cases. And then I also work with special administrators like you. So let's put in the last name. I'm putting in my last name. You would put in yours. I'm putting in my first name, which is Reine. Again, sounds like green. And in the Minnesota system, if you don't know the entire name or you're not sure how it was spelled, you can also use the asterisk or as a wild card. So in this case, I'm going to type in my whole name. I'm going to come up here to the CAPTCHA and I'm going to enter it. And then I'm not going to worry about the case status. I don't, in this case or in this situation, I don't care if it's all, open, or closed. I like to search all just to make sure I get what I'm looking for. If I wanted to, I could put in some dates to narrow down the search. That's very helpful, especially if you're searching by attorney. And I don't worry about the sort by. I just leave it at filed date. So I'm coming all the way down here. I'm clicking on the search button. And you can see my case information comes up. I have two cases. One is for my father's estate, which is now closed. And the other one is a case that I'm working on with a client. So let's go up and take a look at my father's case where I was personal representative. All the way on the left over here, you have the case number. And for Minnesota, case number comes up regardless of which county it is, but each county has their own unique naming convention. You don't really have to worry about that for the search that you're doing. Then if you come over here, it gives you the kind of case that it is. So in this situation, it is an estate for Donald Kassulker, who was my father. And then if you come over here, you see when the case was filed, and you see the court. So that one was in Hennepin Probate and Mental Health Court. And then all the way over on the right, you see information for the attorney and the case status, which on this case is closed. So let's go back over here to the case number. We're going to drill down into the case number because that's where they have all of the information that you are looking for. So when you click on the case number, you come in here and you see a lot of information about the case. First of all, it names the decedent, and it has the name and any aliases for that decedent. It also has the city, state, and zip code where the decedent lived at the time of death. Now, you notice in Minnesota, you don't see the entire address. And that's because there's a Minnesota state statute that prevents the court from making that information available online. However, if you need that information, you can go down to any courthouse in Minnesota. You could go to one of their public terminals, look up the probate case the same way I just showed you, and it'll actually provide you with all of that detailed information. You can get that in person at the courthouse. You just can't get it online. You also see the name of the personal representative. In this case, it was me. Again, it has my city, state, and zip code, no address. I would get that if I were at the courthouse. And then down here is the petitioner. Sometimes there will be multiple petitioners. It could be that there were multiple executors named in the will. It could also be that one person challenged the petitioner, or multiple people filed to be personal representative. So anyone who filed to be personal representative for this case would be listed here. And then over to the right, you have the attorney information as well as the attorney's phone number. Now let's drop down to events and orders of the court. This is what you are most likely interested in. This is where you will find information about your files. You will find information about your hearings and critical dates. So typically, this case, you see a lot of information because the case was completed. As you're working through a case, you'll see limited information because they update this file as they go, or they update your probate file as you go. So for this case, it was filed on February 12th of 2018. And we had the petition for formal probate. And you also see here there's an index number. And the index indicates that there is a file associated with this particular item. And if you were at the courthouse, you could just click on that index number 2, and you could actually see the petition and all the information that is on the petition for this case. When you're online in Minnesota, you don't see that detailed information, which still serves our purposes for tracking the case. But if you really needed to get some detailed information, you would just go to any courthouse, track your case, and click on that index. You can even print those documents if you like. Then you also see on the 18th, the court issued a certificate of representation. They entered the death certificate into the record. They did a notice of discrepancy that was related to specifics of this case. On the 13th, they issued a notice to creditors, and if you wanted to see that, again, you could click on that at the courthouse. But if all you want to know is whether or not your case is moving, or if the court did that, you could just go in here and look, or your attorney and the court working together did that. On this line, we have an order and notice of hearing that occurred on February 13th. And then there was another notice here, which is index number 9. If we jump down to the 14th, we see that the will was indexed into the court records. There was also an affidavit of publication that was indexed into the record, an affidavit of mailing, notice to the community, or I'm sorry, Commission of Human Services. Okay, those were all things that were happening throughout the case. So as personal representative, I could log in here at any time and know exactly what was happening. The other thing I wanted to point out is let's see, on April 2nd was the probate hearing. Now, sometimes as personal representative, you're wondering when your hearing is going to be, especially these days. The courts are backed up and it can take months in some counties to get your hearing. If you log in and you look at your case and your hearing has been scheduled, you'll see the date here. If it's not here, that means they haven't scheduled it yet, or the clerk of courts hasn't entered it into the record here. So you could just go ahead and search for that here. And this is important because sometimes if your attorney's busy or they're falling behind schedule, or maybe they haven't seen it or they haven't contacted you, this is a way that you can A, make sure your case is still moving, and B, understand when these critical dates, such as your hearing date, are. Then the other one I wanted to point out to you that something I recommend you track is, in my case down here, this was April 12th, and the court issued the letters testamentary. So you can see in this case, the probate was filed in February, and letters testamentary were not issued until April. And the reason why those letters are important, those are kind of the key to everything you do as a personal representative. Those are the items that are the letters that you need. They're also referred to as letters of general administration or letters of administration, letters testamentary. It depends on what kind of probate case you have, but you need those letters in order to serve your duties as personal representative. Let me give you an example. If you are trying to take care of a bank account for the deceased person and you want to go in and withdraw money or pay a bill or look at the records and see what has been happening with the account since the person died, if you walk into the bank with a death certificate, chances are pretty good that they're going to freeze the account because you just notified them that the person has passed away and you are not the personal representative. If your name's not on that account, they can't show you the account information. So if you're lucky, they won't freeze it, but a lot of times they will. Now, if you walk into the same bank with the letters testamentary or letters of administration from the court, and you ask to withdraw money or look at the records, take a look, see who's been making deposits, who's been making withdrawals, what's been happening with auto payments, how much money's in the account, transfer it to the estate account, all of those kinds of things. With the letters of testamentary from the court, you talk to the right person at the bank, which is usually a manager. They will give you access to that account. In fact, in a lot of cases, they'll even add you for online banking, which comes in handy, and we'll talk about that in another video. But those letters are critical. Same thing if you don't have titles to the vehicle and you want to get them from the county service center, you need those letters to show that you're authorized. If you are selling real estate, which is what I specialize in, if I see it all the time, people who work with a personal representative who doesn't understand probate, they are the executor in the will. They put the house on the market. They get a buyer. The buyer needs to close within 30 days. Title company starts doing the title work and they realize that the court has not issued the letters. Boom, your entire real estate transaction comes to a stop until you get those letters from the court. You could even be at risk of losing your buyer. There are a lot of bad things that can happen if you go forward in your business without letters from the court, even if you were named as executor in the will. That's a pretty common mistake. So I encourage people to track their probate cases so that you know what's going on, you know that the case is active, and you know when those letters have been issued, because sometimes your attorney maybe doesn't know the letters were issued or they're waiting to receive them from the court. And if you're ambitious or you're working on closing for your house, or something else is going on, you can actually just go down to the courthouse and get a copy of the letters and have them, within an hour. But only if you know that they're there. So this one, letters testamentary, really important, a really important reason for you to track your case online. If there's anything else I can do to help, please feel free to reach out. You can call, you can text, you can email. I mentioned that I am a probate specialist, specializing in real estate cases. So if you're thinking about selling and taking one of those cash offers, let me know. I can give you an estimate on what you would get if you took a cash offer. If you are thinking of going on MLS, I can help you with that. And if you're not sure whether you should go cash offer or MLS, I can do an analysis and let you see your choices. There's no cost, no obligation. I'm just here to help people get through probate with less stress and more money. If there's something you want to see in one of these videos, just leave your information, your request in the comments below. And if you want me to look up something in a particular state, anything I can do to help, either reach out or let me know in the comments below. I put out new videos every week, so subscribe and make sure you don't miss any of our videos. Thank you and good luck with your case.